Hey there, YouTube. Loving all the questions and the comments. I got a couple of them yesterday that were kind of interesting. One guy called me the Tim Dillon of the shooting world. I don't know. He's obese. He's gay. That's okay. Like he's funny. Maybe that's what they meant. He's funny. Okay. And well, here's a good one. You always say the number of rounds you shoot in a year is insane. It is kind of insane. So how many rounds do you shoot in a year? Now that's a pretty good question. I'll talk through kind of how my time gets spent when I'm shooting and give you an approximation. But the quick answer is it's about 100,000 rounds a year. Like it's north of that. And it's been north of that for like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, 8 years maybe. Like it's been north of 100,000 for quite a while and sometimes far north. Probably this year will be the most I've ever shot in my life. Anyway, let me talk through it. So for just a normal practice session, let's say I'm hanging out at home. What I like to do is I like to get up and go chirp a few rounds in the morning. Maybe do some physical stuff right after that. So like 60 to 90 minutes of shooting in the morning. Like if I'm not doing anything else, that's what I like. So typically that's going to be between like 400 and 800 rounds, probably like 550 or 600, something like that. Again, it really depends on what I'm doing. If I'm shooting pistols at like 3 yards, speed stuff, I can eat up a lot of ammo really, really fast. If I'm shooting on paper, like 100 yards away, and I'm like walking back and forth and checking the paper all the time, it's going to slow things down. But like just for a practice day, it's like 500 rounds a day practicing, easy. I'm usually shooting early. I'm a morning person. I'm also a night owl. I do both. I'm a morning person and a night owl. I'm both. And like I said, I like to have rounds downrange pretty early in the morning, and then go do some physical stuff. So just think like if I'm at home for 7 days at a stretch, which is not all that common, I'm probably going to be shooting, like practicing like 5 of those days, and like 2,500, 3,000 rounds, something like that. I mean, yeah, that's what I want to do. Let's see if I'm on the range teaching. It kind of depends on where I am and what I'm doing, but at minimum, there's going to be a burn rate of ammo just doing demos. 200 to 300 rounds a day is like just what I'm going to shoot and use up. Now, that's not like dedicated practice or anything like that. I'm just demonstrating stuff, but I am shooting those rounds. I don't know that there's a ton of training value for me in demonstration at this point, but I don't think it's hurting my shooting at all. But if I'm with like a group that has lots of ammo, and a lot of times I'll shoot more and I'll jump in with the guys and do more reps with them or in front of them so they can just get another, like they can watch me shoot, like, oh, okay, like get another look at it. So if the ammo is flowing freely in some places it does, I will jump in and shoot a lot more, which is also good. So I'm thinking back stuff I've done recently the last few weeks. I had a week in, where the hell was I? Idaho a couple weeks ago doing teaching. I think I shot a couple thousand rounds that week. I mean, to me, it's fine. It's kind of low intensity, like nothing crazy. I was in Arizona for a week at home. And I think I was on the range for 4 days for my own practice, but I wanted to hit it kind of hard. And I shot about 3,000 rounds in 4 days. I was making the Staccato P supercut video, the drill supercut video. And what I did is went out and practiced every day. And then at a certain point, just throw the camera up, video a rep or whatever I'm doing. And then at the end, splice it all together. And again, that's like 3,000 rounds in a week. So I went to California. I had 4 days of teaching there and I was driving. So I remember I just threw 2 cases of PMC in my truck to go demo. And I came home with almost none of it. So I was shooting a lot in those classes just because I felt like shooting. I could, easily transport ammo to my site. And there you go. It's like 2,000 rounds in 4 days teaching. I mean, that happened. You see, last week was heavy. I could go into work early and shoot in the mornings. The ammo is flowing pretty freely, including rifle frange, which is like in the mornings. The one thing that beats Fruity Pebbles is like rifle frange because it doesn't make me fat. It's fun to shoot. So I shot a lot last week. I think I shot like 5,000 rounds during the week. I took Saturday off, and then I shot with a friend of mine, David Wampler. Shout out Wampler. Shot with him on Sunday, maybe 500, 600 rounds. So like 5,500-ish total for the week. That's kind of a heavy week. Now, sometimes there's time off. Like if I've been on the range, like let's say, and this happens, like let's say I'm on the range 18 days out of 20. I will probably like teaching, like I get kind of worn down and I might take a few days off the range and just not shoot at all. Just do maintenance on stuff, clean up my equipment, plan out what I want to do next, record dumb shit for YouTube, whatever. And of course, there's a lot of travel. So I fly like 100 segments a year, roughly 120, something like that. And I think I drove 70,000 miles last year in addition to all the flying. Like during those times, obviously I'm not shooting, but I'm pretty good about like, I might like teach in the morning and the afternoon, then drive like 8 or 10 hours to the next site overnight. So it's like, I don't really lose time that way from the travel. I'm a pretty good traveler. I'm pretty good at that. So all up, I mean, that spending my time that way, like this year, I will easily exceed 150,000 rounds, I think. Which, if you start calculating how much this stuff costs, like I recognize that that's kind of wild to do that. My accountant thinks it's kind of wild. A lot of people think it's kind of wild. But you know what? We're just having fun. You only live once. So there's your answer. That's how crazy I am. That's how much I'm shooting in a year.